over double on the KDA.
Yep.
That is quite the story to be told there. Everything that matters, aka everything that isn't deaths, is won by SPT.
Exactly, and that is already such a big stats to keep track of, right? The Sunnyline, although they did have a little bit of a rough time in this phase 2 of 2018, it's still safe to say that they brought most of this slump onto themselves by being a little bit stubborn, picking triple warrior comps back to back to back, not winning a single time when they did so, and then even picking heroes like Chen into the top lane without really being forced into it, right? So they are willing to experiment, they're willing to try and shake things up, but oftentimes, more often than not, will that backfire quite tremendously.
But nothing says shaking it up like Braxis Holdout.
Oh,
that
baby!
Is where we are going. And immediate ban by SPT on the Garrosh. But SPT have not been dragged here kicking and screaming in a very long time. So I am interested to see what they've done here. Also, fun fact for all of you people who have not been here since the start, like being Kendrick, this was the map where SPT brought out the Gazlo, the only time that Gazlo has ever been played in HGC China or any HGC region except for Europe, I think, because ADRD is mental in a good way.
So this Braxis pick, like, you gotta see it from Sunnyline's perspective, right? Because Sunnyline was the team that picked it in the first place. So they come into this game as the huge underdog. We should probably say the huge undercat, because lions are not dogs. Anyways. So they may as well just try to go for a Hail Mary and surprise their opponents, SPT, maybe catch them off guard, maybe just snowball with the first turn. You know, if they are able to get a first Zerg wave in there and snowball with it, they could actually win a map or two, maybe even against SPT. So this is not a completely bonkers decision by them. It was actually calculated in there. So what do they need in order to potentially get that first Zerg wave in there? Well, get a strong lane, both in top and the bottom. Genji already a strong ganker. If they make him work, and if they manage, oh, look at the immediate responses. Like, those teams are not hesitating a minute.
Yeah, they are just speed running it in, and the picks from SPT are intriguing me. Chat, a task for you. Please find out what the fastest game time is, and I assume it's on this map, so tell me if it is or not. But what is the fastest official HGC game time? Because I know it's currently held by NA, but I'm not sure which.
I think it was Roll20 back in the days with a Lily.
GFE. I think you are correct, but I would like to know the time for that, because every single record, I'm pretty sure, has been set on this map, except for that one. I don't think that one was on this map, actually.
I think it was on Warhead. I think on Warhead is where they had Lily and Zari, and they just pushed in. I could be wrong, though.
Fair enough. Well, I would, yeah, if anyone could find me the time and either put it in the chat or send it to me on Twitter, that would be good. 6:32. If you could let me know which teams, just so I can see if it sounds right, that would also be good. But
yeah,
yes,
it was definitely below 6 minutes. It was way below 6 minutes. That much I can remember.
Yes, I would like it. I would like a number, and I would like a match. That is what I would like. That is the research task. Your homework for the day, chat. As we see Varian and Gul'dan banned out. Gul'dan's interesting because, of course, stacking on this map. It's not saying it's definitely going to be a speed run. It's not definitely going to be a one-sided game because SPT lost to Sunny Lion in the last time.
Well, Tetra, speaking of quick games and fast endings, why don't you tell us about what CE did? Probably a year and a half ago on this battle.
Yes. CE used to, before NA took the title, hold the record for the fastest win in HGC of all time. It was against Wukong Gaming from back in the day.
Never forget.
They picked Sylvanas and just ended the game. They just ran down top.
They just ran it down top.
Run it down top. They ran it down top, grabbed the Zerg, and just went for the core. That was it.
Exactly.
That was just the game.
It wasn't pretty. And even the members of Wukong Gaming, the opponents who unfortunately fell to the onslaught of CE, even they couldn't believe it. Like, they were just smiling and realizing, okay, that was probably a new record right there.
5 minutes 12 by Roll20, it says Boombox. That sounds about right. I believe you. Yeah. And we see Sylvanas! I knew it!
Oh!
I called it! And a Karazim as well. I knew it! I called it so hard. So, let's see if they can do it. They've got no solo laner. They're committing. They want to run it down the lane.
So, run it down top or bottom, depending on which lane gets the momentum done. So now, while this is cool on paper, right? Your baby girl, Sylvanas, was picked. My baby boy variant was banned, unfortunately. But this looks cool on paper, right? And CE did it in the past. They dismantled Wukong Gaming back in 2017 in what was like 6 minutes something. Now, this could also backfire, though, Tetcher. We saw what happened to CE when they last underestimated a team, KT, last week. They picked Kel'Thuzad on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and it did not go well. So if this disrespect move by SPT...
That was CE, wasn't it?
Yeah,
as opposed to SPT.
No, but I'm saying, like, the last time we saw a team going for those wonky moves, right? Those crazy picks because they were disrespecting their opponents. We saw what happened, right? They lost the game. So hopefully for SPT, they have a battle plan for it, and they're not going to go down in that very first game already.
We'll find out. 5:12 is the time to beat. Start your timers, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Fnatic tried to beat the time, including Snitch playing Sylvanas at Mid-Season Brawl. That was fun. They tried to do it, but failed.
All right, guys. You see the Sylvanas?
Wow.
Keep the 5:12 in mind. This is not only a Heroes of the Storm stream right now, this is also a speed run.
Yeah, I love the draft, though. Look at that. Fastest, most auto-attack damage on a hero, Greymane in Worgen form. The disable on the buildings, double support, both AoE,
Shields.
both with really reasonable attack damage in the form of Iron Fist, and of course, Stukov just chunking things when he whacks them. And then when you have shields, movement speed, the mobility, the ability to dance around the enemy team, this is an optimum comp for pushing. And I love it.
It could very well be. Yeah, I am down with you. If it works as intended, I think this could be an unstoppable force for Sunny Lion to hold. But if it doesn't work out, and if for some miraculous reason Sunny Lion finds themselves ahead in the early game, I think there's almost no comeback mechanics, right? In the late game team fight, there's nothing to stop the Genji. There's very little to do against the Leoric as well. So, I think it has to work rather fast.
Yeah. They're going to have to do it fast because there's a Cassia in the game, so they need to be able to play around that too, because the blinds will really slow down this push, and this could be what costs them. Sunny Lion on the left, Power Malfurion, Jaina on ETC, Feed B on the Cassia, Twilight on the Genji, and First is on Leoric.
And their opponents trying to run it down in a speed run, it seems. With the Sylvanas, we have Melody C, we have Molly on the Greymane, we have Nisak on the Tyrael, Soap on the Kharazim, ZZH on Stukov, and together they are the super perfect team, also known as SPT.
You can see Sunny Lion. They know what's coming. They appropriately group up top lane. Group up mid, sorry, so they can react to whichever lane SPT decides to push. They're waiting. Second, they reveal themselves, which is going to be right now. They're not going to wait. They're just going to go straight. Oh, they are going to wait a bit, but there we go. Structure disabled. The Leoric has found it. Here comes the rest of the team. Very patient move by ZZH, though, because he is the escape route here, basically. Especially for Kharazim. There's the heals, and they almost get a tower.
All right.
Oh, double stun by Jaina. First blood, second blood. Get punished, SPT.
And that is exactly how things can turn south here for SPT. They tried to be cheeky. They tried to make it fast, but they did not expect the double stun, all the damage coming in from Genji and Cassia as well. The roots from Malf are on point, and this first disrespect move, this cheeky draft, is getting punished quite a bit.
Well, Misaka, look at this. Sunny Lion, they're like, okay, we got first 2 kills. We have someone in bot lane already. Let's just group up. This is
they're not done this yet.
The absolute most out of the Mercenary Queen. The earliest level Mercenary buff talent you can get. But Sunny Lion, they just want to brawl. They want to scrap because they know their comp's way better for it. Silence on Genji. Little bit rough here. Genji being forced to back up. They've prevented the Cam being taken. Cam slowly leashes up. Sylvanas stopped it healing any further, but it's already healed up quite a bit. Jaina continuing to just be a pain here. XP being soaked by Leoric, and the longer this goes on, further ahead Sunny Lion are going to get. This looks like kind of a
bottom
disaster.
at all. They're not even having a single person to soak the bottom. Leoric has free reign.
One kill though, two kills stuck on ZZH. Picking up where his team was struggling earlier, evening up the kill count. Merc camp is taken, and that is going to be a buffed Hellbat camp that they're going to be able to push in with.
All right, the Mercenary Queen, of course, buffs the damage of the Mercenaries quite significantly here. So Tetcher brought up the point already with Sylvanas deactivating the buildings and then empowering the attacks of the Fire Bats even more. That is going to be the name of the game here. Beautiful escape by Twilight on the Genji. Look at that. The bottom lane completely ignored. The Zerg meter is no longer charging for Sunny Lion. That's all they wanted to achieve. And here come the big bats.
ZZH is the target. Genji looking for the kill. Nice bio kill switch. Down goes Malfury, and ZZH saves himself as they turn it round. BB is dead. First has realized he's needed here. He has to come. He's looking for ZZH. They get the kill, but that's 2 kills to 1. Jaina nearly dies to the Shadow Dagger, but is able to survive thanks to the Fountain. But empowered mercenaries coming through, and SPT, despite giving away first and second blood, down goes the fort. They have just under 2 minutes to beat the record.
All right. I mean, zapping down the armor of those buildings seems like a good idea. -20 on the fort with those mercenaries and the minions hammering on the walls. That was a quick fort, and despite not having a single hero in that bottom lane at all through the entirety of that game, they're going to take a tremendous 1-level lead.
Yeah, the record at this point is almost certainly out of their hands. You can see the SPT, they're happy with top 4, but they are going to lose the Zerg at this point. They're really struggling to fight. They're just trying to grab Mercs. They're looking for another push opportunity. SPT, a little bit of recovery was gained, but here comes the Zerg. On the bright side, though, they have Sylvanas. Sylvanas, despite being a huge push hero, pretty reasonable at defeating the Zerg. Due to the fact the Shadow Dagger hits everything.
And not just that, look at the empowered Goliaths here, also helping out tremendously. Look at that damage. They're charging and just shredding through the Zergs like they were butter. Now, the Ultralisk, of course, still remain.
And right now, all of the mercenaries have most been cleared. There's still a couple left. The Raven and 1 Goliath, although that 1 Goliath does get finally finished off. Leoric has been solo soaking and proxying the lane. There are still a couple Zerg in that top lane, but he just proxies up and soaks the XP to prevent anything pushing further. But here comes SPT. They know they have a man advantage. Once again, they have a level advantage too, as they try to push forward, looking for Jaina, but Jaina tanks through it.
Jaina tanks through, and SPT, they continue their attack as a 5-man unit. Mercenary Queen still applying to that Raven, shooting tremendous AoEs rockets out there. Now the thing is, how much are they willing to commit to this? Okay, now with HGC dead, they can basically pull it all the way through. If Cassia falls here, there's no more killing potential left, but against the Kharazim and the Greymane, her passive really starts to kick in. She's exceptionally resilient.
It does, but you can see the healing output of the double AoE healing coming in. And SPT, despite refusing to soak more than 1 lane at a time, able to pick up the kill. Eventually, the blinds are so good, keeping Feed B alive for so long, the armor, and he gets out, but that fort is gone.
Yeah, Feed B, the ultimate survivor there on the Cassia. The Mercenary is still alive. The Raven shooting those missiles in like they were nothing. Now, Leoric is still in the top lane. Keep in mind, all this defense was done in a 4 versus 5 scenario, and that's the only reason why Sunny Lion is still on even levels here. 7 talents are available. Leoric has decided to join in his team. He has had enough, but no, the team was not grouped up yet. Malfurion in the base, Cassia on the bottom. They couldn't contest those mercs anymore.
Kharazim continuing to commit to the pushing build, not even going for blinding speed. The blazing fists, reducing his cooldown on his deadly reach every 3rd basic attack. Here comes the ETC, good stun onto Molly, who's being forced to roll back when they turn it and kill off Leoric, Quick, and Lickety, as we see the move back by Molly. A consistent healing from Stukov, Kharazim, but also just chucking out those heals as much as he can, as the towers consistently disabled by Sylvanas. Twilight, good deflect, actually buying his team some time, but down goes 1 tower, and the second one dropping low as well.
Yep,
ETC, he's just looking for his opportunity. Nice route. This could be the death of Molly. Down he goes.
Down he goes, and all the mana bars have been depleted on the side of SPT. Tyrael has nothing left to keep him safe and sound. The healing is strong by Kharazim and Stukov though, but there's only so much they can do here. Now, Genji, he's not done chasing yet. The zap actually goes through for Leoric. First doesn't have enough, but Twilight actually executes the Stukov on the retreat, and this could be once again a Zerg meter filling up rather quickly for Sunny Lion. But as it is, after 6 minutes and 40, the death timers aren't really that long. As such, Tyrael and Stukov should be back quite well.
Sneaky Kharazim does delay the Zerg pretty effectively by grabbing top. This, however, is a super smart move by Sunny Lion. What's the biggest issue? Mercenary pushes in with the Merc Queen. So what do? You remove the Mercenary.
Exactly.
Take away the tools that SPT are using for this weird strategy, and you punish them for it. You look for kills where you can. You absolutely take every single objective on the map because you can.
And this is not over just yet. Once again, the Zergs are charging up for the Sunny Lion. And keep in mind, SPT doesn't have the strongest of team fighting combos. In fact, it is Stukov once again getting jumped on by several Lions at the same time. They have no hard control to keep hard CC to keep the Genji under control. And as such, the entirety of SPT is once again in the defense.
CZH survives though, and that's good. But like you said, here comes the Zerg, and they need to rotate through their base if they want to get up there at this point. Because look at that Sunny Lion, they know they have the pressure. They can continue to do this. Karazim though, it looks like SPT have finally given up on 5-man. And Karazim is now in the solo lane, soaking his team to level 10. Yeah,
the level 10 is going to be such an important power spike for both teams, of course. Now, that fort, I think, is gone. And if Misaka ends up falling here as well, that would mean that it's a 4 versus 5 defense, which is already hard enough to do with in the first place. So you don't want to lose any members whatsoever. But look at the poison by Sylvanas. We oftentimes underestimate the wave clear. It has an infinite bounce. So it will spread to all the Zerg, doing a little bit of poison damage at the same time.
See, everything is wounded here. It's just, oh, there's a
Valkyrie.
Again, it is CZH, and again he survives. He's immortal. As first is taken out, he's sort of immortal, but via death. As we see this, the Guardians being focused down and taken out, they're actually going to be left up a bit here. As Karazim rejoined the scene, focusing onto Jada, even with the heroics on the board, this could be a potential mosh pit turnaround if they're not careful. But they have their own heroics. They were looking for a cheeky kill there.
Those are the situations in which you're like, damn it, what if I had taken mind control? I could have actually had one there in the back and get a second kill. But no, the lingering arrow was picked, of course. Sorry, the wailing arrow. So the silence is real. The 7-sided, by the way, to punish those aggressive ETC plays that we've seen all game long. But yeah, what is there really to interrupt the mosh pit, right? Only the wailing arrow and only the lingering arm by Stukov. So,
Yeah, lucky arm, massive shove, wailing arrow. Those are the only available tools here. So it makes a lot of sense. Wailing arrow for starters is the better talent because it does damage, etc. There's no easy pickup target who you can benefit from a mind control, and there is a solid pedal tank in the form of ETC. So mind control falls short in pretty much every single aspect. So it makes a lot of sense to go for the wailing arrow, and that hurts me to say because I quite like mind control, but I do understand its weaknesses.
All right, they're trying to build up here double mercenary pressure for SPT. They're trying to run it down in the bottom lane as hard as they can. They realize, you know what, if we go for any of those late game team fights, we're probably not going to be able to execute it well enough because the enemy team's power spike is too significant. So what they're going to do, they're trying to get more structural value here with the Sylvanas. One tower has already been depleted. The other one falls very shortly here, I believe. But can they go for the keep yet? I am not so sure. 7-sided goes through and the silence is good too. And Molly takes a bite.
Nicely done. ZZH point-blank silences on himself to prevent Genji getting the kill. Twilight's dropping low. Twilight prevents Tyrael picking up the kill, though. But Tyrael is not done. First is getting absolutely destroyed, but that Drake keeps him alive. Never mind. Good kill by Greymane. And the keep is now disabled, and the keep is now going to die.
How convenient. We still have the Mercenary helping out the Raven once more. A welcome companion. ZZH was actually trying to shove away Feetby on the Cassia, but it didn't really work out this time. Mosh pit should still be available. I didn't see it cancel earlier.
There it is, but easy dodge by Misaka. Nicely done. As we see First pushing forward. First went for March. I kind of don't know.
Dragon Blade, though?
There's the massive shove. ZZH finally killed off. His immortality streak comes to an end. Misaka is but is able to make it to his towers.
All right, so a couple of heroic abilities were whiffed. However, we did see the keep damage, the keep destruction done for SPT. That's all they really want, right? And I like the play by Sunny Lion as well. They realize, you know what, we can't stall this out any longer anymore. We want to end this with sheer brute force, so we're going for the boss. Genji, look at that deflect value, by the way.
Yeah, this is the thing you can do with Genji on this map. No holy ground available, 13 not here. Misaka scouts it, but pieces out of way, and this is what I've been saying all game. Sunny Lion, you're going to get pushed in, so you might as well just take every objective, and eventually one of them might allow you to push with it and win the game.
Tesher, this is not over yet. If you think about it, true, the keep was destroyed, but this is not over yet. With the boss and the Zerg wave, they could unleash a terrible push onto SPT, who's now trying to take down the Leoric with First. Can they do it? Sylvanas also hovering over the wall. That was a good kill, but Leoric comes back faster, and during all that, they're not defending the boss on the bottom lane.
Yeah, the boss is sort of being unattended. That's pushing up, while the Zerg wave, which is also going to push this lane. This is going to be a problem. 88, Wailing Arrow. In comes the Valkyrie, which gets nothing thanks to the Sanctification. And this could be a full team wipe. Phoebe getting focused down. Genji has fled for his life here. Leoric has returned. Misaka flees the drain of Leoric. And the Zerg wave is already active though. They greeted on the kills. Now there is a boss, there's a full Zerg wave, but guess what? You have Sylvanas. You can hold this. You can use the huge AoE you get from the Lurking Arm. You can use the huge wave clear that you get from Greymane Cocktails, from the Sylvanas Shadow Dagger, and of course the barbed shots, the barbed arrows from Sylvanas. They clean this up before it even makes it to the towers.
Wow, for a moment I was starting to get a little concerned for SPT, because if they hadn't gone for the almost full team wipe, if they hadn't done tremendous damage for the sidelines, I think they could have actually retaliated and pushed with the Zergs and the boss. But the way they played it, SPT, you know, destroy the enemy team and then defend in the open, that's exactly what they needed to do. So well played by them. Genji during all of this, Twilight, you could really see him trying to maybe execute a target very sneakily. That dropped a little bit too low from the Zergs, but as such, against double support with Karazim and Stukov, your chances of actually finding a low HP target in those situations is rather limited.
They've managed to make their own a couple times in the form of ZCH, but that's not always been the case. Holy Ground is now available, so that boss attempt that they did earlier is going to be much riskier now. Sank in 12 seconds. Valkyrie doesn't land. Beautiful split by SPT. I've never seen one that clean.
Yeah, very clean. They really predicted that Valkyrie to go through in that choke point. They all sprint to the side, cheeky side steps, and here we go. The Holy Ground is real, blocking enemies out. Here goes the seven-sided.
Immediate wailing arrow. The Twilight Dream is good though for the counter move. March the Black King does some good damage, but PP is dropping low. The Dragon Blade! Twilight is going to clean up SPT. So, get him? Get him? Nope. Soap lives. But Sylvanas might not be so lucky. Run, Melody C. For start, okay, so good for Sylvanas. Sylvanas is one of the most mobile heroes in the game, thanks to Wind Ranger.
Can't you do it against you, though?
But 2v1, there's not much you could do. Could have tried to make it back to her base, but it's so unlikely. People would have been closing in. Just tried to Duke and drop some damage, maybe burst down Leoric. But in this case, it does get taken out.
Hellbats are the real MVPs for SPT in that fight, though. Although they were able to kill 2 enemy heroes, the damage that had been dealt onto the enemy base was done in the top lane. This is a 7-sided. There we go. Wow.
Oh, that's really cool. I like
Very
you.
satisfying.
I like so.
Very satisfying.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be back early, and yeah, you burn a cooldown, but the XP is so important at this point to get to that level 16. That is so easily worth.
Exactly. I mean, it's still going to take Leoric a while to come back, which means you're going to have a better position. Oh, Misaka, did he aim it perfectly? No, he did not. Yes, he did. Okay, perfect. For a moment, I was starting to get worried.
Cam stolen, but you can see the slowing javelin coming in from Cassia. Yeah. She's been using it to help chase Misaka, but baited, and he's gone.
Get a Duke mate over the wall here with a beautiful Eldrin's Might. I'm not even sure if Genji... no, he was bottom. Otherwise, he could have followed. He would have been the only hero to do it, actually. Now, the Valkyrie completely whiffed. I mean, there must be communication, though, that Karazim doesn't have 7-sided anymore, so Genji shouldn't be too afraid of that one.
Yeah. Well, Genji's on his way up because Karazim just wrecked him in the 1v1. As we see Greymane getting focused now. Good Sank for the turnaround. The lurking arm. See ya, pal. Twilight, though, has arrived. Genji is back, but so is Karazim. Back for more. 7-sided bird. And SPT, they are now not only pushing super hard, but they are winning every single fight with great synergy.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the class of SPT. They make this inferior draft in team fighting worth and working. So with perfect communication, especially on that Sanctification and the silence right next to it, they prevented the enemy team not only from damaging themselves, but also from retreating and using any of those mobility escape mechanisms. So now with the boss and the Zerg wave, I think this is going to be nigh impossible to hold here. It's going to be such a crucial defense for Sunnyline. Can they do it, though? They need to fight out in the open. I think the moment those Zergs enter the base, it's gone.
It took them 16 minutes, but SPT have everything. 3 catapults, full Zerg wave, boss and mercenary camp in top lane. Everyone alive. Some heroics still even available, I expect. I'm pretty sure Go for the Throat was not used. as they are going to move in, and they are looking for the core. It's a full 5v5, 7-sided, it's a 4v5, as they move in. Good mosh pit, though. There's the massive shove for the interrupt. The nice pull onto Molly with that Valkyrie, but Cassia not able to drop the damage. Down is Speed B. Pow, completely out of position, nowhere to go. Icebox delay, but it's just Jada and Malfure. It's just Jada and ETC, nothing they can do. And that is it. GG, game number 1 goes to SPT.
Wow. What a cute little transition there, by the way. The core exploding and immediately the SPT logo coming in. Well done, Chinese production team. Well done indeed. Unfortunately, it was not so well done for the Sunny Line, although, in my opinion, Tetra, we have to give them quite some credit. They defended themselves way longer than they could have on any other map, I feel. They almost put the onslaught of SPT to a hold there multiple times. So kudos to them. I think that was a valiant try, a valiant effort. But we're going to have to talk about that. Sorry, go ahead. They
did a lot of things right, but SPT are the better team. And that is as simple as that. The comp was a little rough, but once you get to the point of, oh, we're level 16 and we're about to hit level 16 and we're ahead in XP. Now it's just the point where we just win fights. It doesn't matter what our comp is. We just can. We are that good.
Like the moment when they got that first Zerg wave in, I think they also got the second one. I was like, yeah, you know, maybe they can do it. Maybe SPT you know, a bit of more than they could chew, but in the end, you just saw the class, right? You just saw the individual class of members like me, Saka. By the way, those sanctifications were just golden. Then we also had beautiful moves by Soap on the Karazim, 7-sided, striking his way into my heart. That was just fantastic. And at the end, I mean, it just looked like the new Brawl, right? It looked like there were Zergs coming in from multiple angles. There were mercenaries in there as well. It was just...
heroic difficulty. Valor's for some reason off grabbing nukes when the core is dying. Valor, come back! But yeah.
I think for Sunny Line, that was probably Mythic 15 plus. Like that, that was super hard to hold for them.
Oh dear. But no, that was a really good pushing comp. The one thing I really want to say, and because I always talk bad on this hero, Cassia was a really good choice.
And you know, it was extremely hard to kill in the early game there. I mean,
the blind slowed down the push super hard.
Feedby survived multiple times where any other ranged assassin would have died. Period, because of the physical armor. And the damage output by Cassia can never be neglected, right? China likes to focus on this hero more than other regions still, but I don't think it was the Cassia pick that lost in the game by any means.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was perfect. It's just their comp was not built for what they were up against anyway, and they played reasonably well considering what they had. They grabbed the boss when they could. They grabbed the mercs when they could. They took away tools as much as they could. But there's only so much you can do when the other team is just able to play that many steps ahead. As you see, 25-11 by the end of it. That number should really be swapped when you're up against that kind of composition.
Exactly. I mean, there's not really much else to do for the team of SPT. And we saw Melody C here, by the way, becoming the MVP. Yet again, that's title number 11 under his belt on the Sylvanas. And just gotta say, it looked good. It didn't really do so much in the early game, but his Mercenary Queen was always there when he needed to be. Good positioning as well. Some nice arrows, some good escapes. You know, can't blame the jury for picking him.